Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. Sorry about that. I First of all, I'm wearing long sleeves, so it's chilly in the shop here. I'm in Allen, Texas, so we got some cool weather after all. So it's kind of nice. Um, we are live here from my shop. I'm Todd Rains from Allen, Texas, owner of Woodturning Tool Store. And we are going to have a bit of a turn today. It's Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. First of all, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving in the U.S. and had their fill of good food and family and friends. So, um, yeah, I think we're going to have probably a smaller crowd here today. Black Friday is today, so I'm sure people are off taking advantage of the day off of work, or if they have it off, and doing stuff with the family and that kind of stuff. So, okay. Just got Google Chrome. Remind me later on to trying Gemini. So I have been playing with that AI tool a little bit, and I do like the AI assist in writing emails. So anyway, sidebar. We are going to continue this little maple box I turned during the vendor showcase events. And if you missed that, well, I haven't put that up on my YouTube channel yet. So we do have a recording of just the mini demos and a few other things and stuff like that. So we'll put that up. I think the replay might still be available on StreamYard. I'm not sure. So let's see. Oh, Ian's asking a good question. Did anyone have a deep fried turkey for Thanksgiving? No, I have never had a deep fried turkey. I've lived in Texas 28 years and haven't had one. So there is a company out in East Texas in Tyler that I forget what it's called, Greenway, I think, and they do deep fried turkeys, and you can buy those and stuff and so. But it's a dangerous endeavor, so just be careful if you're doing it. So we actually had chicken, roasted chicken, actually grilled chicken thighs and a chicken pot pie and stuff like that. It's just too much turkey for the two of us to have a big turkey. So Lowell, South Texas, thank you for joining. Appreciate it, and appreciate that. We got California, Woodboy, thanks for joining, and Cowspit from New Jersey. Nice. I like these handles. So Dennis and Martha Wall, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. New Orleans. Sunny New Orleans for once, he says. Yeah, so anyway, everybody, John, happy Thanksgiving. A little late, but hopefully the holiday season's in full swing for you. Joe, good to have you here. Thank you. And Carl. Yeah, so we had a quiet one here yesterday, so it was a lot of fun. We did some puzzling and some other crafts and stuff like that. So, but today is Black Friday. I am a store owner, so there are sales on this whole week. If you want to check that out, it is on the website. Check out the special deals page. That's not going to do it to me. There we go. Wrong mouse, wrong window. So today's special, though, I don't know if I put it up here, actually. Maybe I did. Free shipping on 500 or more. There's a special today only, $50 or more, and you get this little segment marketing disc. This is it's been a great little seller and stuff. I did the 5-sided bowl with it. Let's see, where am I at? There we are. And it was a lot of fun. And that button's not working. There we go. Oh, Jesus. It's so delayed. There we go. I got to change that delay on that. So 6-sided platter, 5-sided platter, twisted box, any sides from, I was just about to say 2, but how do you make a 2-sided thing? That'd be a stick of wood. 3-sided, so you can do the twisted triangle box or the straight triangle sort of thing, whether it's candlesticks or boxes or whatever. Obviously 4-sided, nice and square, if you can make that happen, and stuff. 5-sided plates, I did these on my live stream. Where did it go? found the other piece just this morning. So if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. But 6-sided, if you need to do 6-sided, 7-sided, 8-sided, 9-sided. So we have 5 discs in the set. These are 3D printed. You can easily make them yourself if you got a little bit of drawing capability and a 3D printer. A disc with 5. Let me do overhead. That might be easier. 5-sided, that's what I used on those plates. Here's 6-sided, so you can do 3, the triangle, or 6-sided with that one. 7, odd number, hard to get that any other way. 8, obviously 8, you can do the 4 sides or 4-star 8, and a funny 6 if you want to do a 6 and skip the 2. So anyway, all kinds of things. That might be good for an oblong plate or something like that. And then 9. So we cover the gamut 3 through 9 with just the 5 discs. So anyway, that's what you get free today if your order is over $50. Where am I at? There I am. Hello. So that's the deal today. What else do I have up on my billboard here? So here's what we're going to do. Fitting a contrasted wood collar. So that's what we're going to do today. I did have some ebony, but I realized it's waxed, and as I cut it free, it may move. So I'm going to use some dry wood. This is cherry I've got, so we'll do that in the maple box today. If you need to get a hold of me, do so. Email, phone number, all that stuff's up here. QR code for the newsletter. If you want to join that, you may want to join that for getting a hold of us. Either, well, Cindy's live stream, that's her newsletter and stuff. And you saw mine. I didn't hold out there very long, but we do these every Friday at 1 o'clock. It's either one of us every other Friday, so check that out. And then blank screen. Next Friday, December 5th, is going to be our, I have to move my hand over here, get my, let's see if I got the dates right in this thing. Oops. Sharing session, December 5th. I think that's Friday next week. And so this will be a Zoom meeting, actually. So where we can see you and you can see us and we can talk and stuff so that we can share and see your turnings and share insights from you and others in the chat. So these are going to be a lot of fun. That's on the 5th. And I think the next day, Cindy's doing a demo. I don't know exactly what, but it's scheduled. You'll probably hear about that this week, if not today or tomorrow. And yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. So check that out. Let's see. I'm back to comments. Back to the maple box. So let's get on with the show there. And yeah, I want comments already. Sorry. I had a little bit of a setup fiasco. I had to reboot this machine a couple of times, get things working and stuff. So I'm a little bit behind pace in terms of where I kind of wanted to be. And for that reason, a little sip of wood, a little sip of water. Too much wood on my brains. So we have this little maple box. Let me go overhead. This is a piece of big leaf maple turned, maybe that one or this one. One of those, that shows it all right. There's some nice burl on the sides there and some big leaf figure and stuff through there and stuff. Same on the inside. If I see, this is going to react. Yeah, I had to change the frame rate on these cameras a little bit just to get rid of that flashing light, but you can see the inside's kind of nice. These are offcuts from a big board I had. And so I started turning this on the vendor showcase. If you don't know about vendor showcase, 5 vendors and we get together and have a show twice a year. It's basically a meeting like this, if you will, and we do mini demos, show specials, and collaborative turnings, charity auction where we auction off our collaborative turnings, and we raised this year we raised about $1,400 for the San Diego Humane Society. So that was very good. Happy about that. So that was the 15th of November, a couple of weeks ago. Let's see, just checking through chat. All right, well, let's kind of see what I showed on the vendor showcase live stream, if you will, was a bit of scraping techniques and different tools to hollow. So we used, mate tool, we used a hook tool, we used scrapers, both negative rake and I'm trying to get my live center out, and it's one of these Sorby step centers, not quite long enough in the Morse taper to automatically get pushed out. So it's a kind of a shorter taper, and it's just a little too short to pull out with the tailstock alone. So I use my my knockout rod. I was showing all kinds of different ways to cut it and stuff. It's a burl in a way, so it's cross grain really, but there's so much grain going elsewhere that it's kind of you got these little figure fissures and burl eyes going all over the place. But generally, the grain was going across grain. So we tried the hook tool. It wasn't the best. Hook tool works best on end grain. The mate tool worked great. Scrapers worked great. And by the time the vendor showcase was over, I had this hollowed out, and so I still got a bump on the bottom, not quite finished. I was working on smoothing this lip out a little bit, this edge. It's going to take a lot of sanding. I've got some good tear out spots. So there is one pretty good one right there. Yeah, you can kind of see the tear out, kind of rough right there. Maybe, yeah, that shows it better down in there. So I tried these negative rake scrapers and just trying to get it as smooth as I can with tools, and it's going to take some sanding. So I wanted to get that somewhat prepped before I create this thing, which is going to plug and cap this guy. And I made it slightly oversized, if you can see, just so I can make sure that I'm fitting that surface. And I had thought about leaving it just slightly proud, just to kind of, so I have some room to make a bit of a shape, maybe a bit of a curve in here. Not too much. I've got about a 3/8 thickness and wall thickness there to deal with and stuff. But anyway, that'll get me sort of a maple and cherry contrast look to it. And I don't know if there's any really good orientation for this, but we'll just have to see how it goes. This is cross grain as well, so gluing that up should be okay. I'm just trying to establish, okay, there's the cross grain right there. I looked inside to see if you didn't notice, so I see those lines going across. So I'm going to orient this so the cross grain is going across the same way. So, and maybe some witness lines might help to make that work. But if you got questions as I'm talking through this, please let me know. Yeah, I remember taking my pencil away somewhere. And, well, I don't know where it is. Oh, here's one. Cross grain. So I'm just going to mark a mark here just to kind of give me an orientation. Hopefully that should survive to glue up time. And so let's go ahead. I think we're ready. I like I said, I prepped all this. I'm still got a few more as I plug this and cut out the center part of it, but I wanted to get it close, so I didn't have to do a lot, so this dimension doesn't change, which is, I think, not that one. I set this to kind of where I wanted it. So if let's do this off the lathe, take it out of the chuck a little bit. Might be a little easier to show because I am done turning this right now. I'm going to turn the plug to fit. So Let's see. Scott has a question. So, good question, Scott. Yeah, thanks for asking. Any updates on the Axminster delivery? So, yes, I have a fairly large order with them, and I'm not getting everything in this first shipment, which I got a shipping tracking number, so it should be here next week. I would think, hopefully, maybe mid next week. So that's good news, and everything in that shipment should fulfill my back order. So Scott, you're in line. You'll get that. So we're looking like early December for getting stuff out. It'll take us a day to kind of receive and look through it and double check, and then we'll ship out probably the day after. We got a stack of back orders, and Nick, if you're out there, thanks for waiting so long since SWAT. So and if people don't know, I put it a little bit. I don't know if I put it in my newsletter. I sent out customers with back orders some information on this. So we just take a quick minute here to talk about Axminster. In summer, fall time, they went through a I don't know what it's called over in Britain, but basically restructuring of the company. They had some banking facility issues and restructured debt. And so they split the company in two. So Axminster is now two companies. There's the retail side and the manufacturing side, and they split those. So Nuco Tools is now there's a big hand in there, sorry about that, is the Axminster. Nuco Tools is the manufacturer, so they do all the machining. Everything that Axminster makes, they're still making. So all the chucks, all the drive live centers, all the accessories, the jaws, all that stuff that Axminster made in the UK is still made in the same factory by the same people, and stuff like that. It's just they now have as one of their customers Axminster Professional or Axminster Tools Company Limited. So all the retail side and the internet side is a customer now of Nuco Tools. So same people in Axminster doing all the website, and I think they got a couple of stores left and all that stuff. So that is now part of that product that business. So I'm buying from Nuco Tools. Axminster will buy from Nuco Tools. All the other distributors across the globe are going to be buying from Nuco Tools, and it's the same Axminster branded products. So they'll still say Axminster Woodturning or Discovery Chuck or Evolution Chuck, all that kind of stuff. Nothing's changing there. Prices aren't changing at this moment, so that should be my prices haven't changed on the website since I started. So anyway, that's a long-winded way of saying that everything's copacetic. They just had a little hiccup for a couple months, and divide and conquer, I think, is the name of the game. So that's working out. The one thing coming out of it, though, is that US-based customers can no longer get their Axminster products ordered directly from Axminster in the UK. If you go to the website, you won't be able to buy anything in US dollars and have it delivered to the US. So you have to come to dealers like myself and Steve Fulgoni up in New York, the Woodturning store, and a couple others. I can't remember them right now. Chad over at Turner's TV. So those, the three of us anyway, are the primary dealers, I guess, in the US. So hopefully that kind of helps explain that a little bit. So good question, Scott. Thanks for your patience as well. John asks, how do you sharpen the hook tool? I did show that on the vendor showcase, and so I still have it out here on my bench, and I keep my little hone with me on a magnet on my headstock here. So here we go, John. Here's the I just put that right under there. We can kind of get some contrast there. So here's the hook tool. There's the sharp side, the edge, and the hook. 1/4 inch half round diamond hone. It's about 600 grit. It's a fine. Right up the middle. In there. That's how I'll hone 90% of the time. And the top bevel, I'll take the flat edge and I'll try and keep that facet as clean and smooth as possible as factory edge. This one's quite old. It's worn away quite a bit here just from honing. A little bit of grinder work. I've had this tool for 5 years, this one, and I've taken it to the grinder once. So that's how many times you take it to the grinder, 1 every 5 years. So don't quote me on that. Your mileage may vary, but that's it. Just straight up and down the inside flute. Just a couple of quick honing strikes, and you're good to go. Thanks for the question, John. Hey. Hi, Shelley. It's Anthony and Susan. Oh, okay, Anthony, Susan. Thanks for clarifying the handle. It's a funny handle. If we see you next time at a trade show, symposium, you'll have to explain that handle to us. So well done. Harry, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Scott says, happy to support dealers on our side of the pond. Thanks a bunch. You bet, Scott. Appreciate it. And good questions. It wasn't that it was a big secret. It's just that there was we didn't want to have a lot of misinformation going out until it was all settled, and that settled up in early November, late October. So, yeah, and they're catching up. What they had to do, they had to move warehouses. So, can you imagine all these parts and pieces and racking and all that stuff? They had to move separate inventory from Axminster to Nuco Tools. So there's a lot of time spent in that, and then setting up business systems and stuff. So that took a couple of months. I am trying to pull out my points. No, I did that. I did. I think I'm a little bit backwards in what I wanted to do. I got drive center and live center. I took this off the lathe. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to show this down here. Let me get off there and let me focus down there. And oops, wrong one. There we go. Sorry, there's just some manual work for me to do to make this work. So we've got this thickness in the wall, and we have this diameter that's going to cover the whole thing. But I really want the plug, so I'm going to put basically a tenon on this end to fit this hole. But I don't want it to fit this exact hole. I want to size my recess to my tenon. So let's take a look at what I'm going to do. So I'm going to lay this over, and let me zoom in a little bit, and set my calipers to not this dimension, because that is exact on that hole. I want a little bit wider than that, so I'm going to go a couple millimeters wider, and that'll give me some room to clean up this edge to fit that plug. And I may go just a little bit wider, so I have some room to cut through that cherry and finish up so that'll give me a good ledge down at the bottom of this recess to fit that plug. And I have to go, it's kind of a tricky one, because I want to do, it's going to be tough because there's 2 dimensions I got to worry about. Not only that width, but also the depth of that tenon, because what I want to do is I want to have this cherry proud of the maple. I don't want it just as a tenon. I want it proud of a maple. So I could make this, because I want to see the cherry on the outside as well. We're going to see if that works. It's going to be a fiddly. We'll see what we get through today. All right. So I've got my caliper set to where I want my tenon depth. and or my tenon width, and we'll put this back between centers, cut that tenon, decide on a depth of that tenon, and then match that depth and width on my maple box. Sounds easy. Not really. All right, so I pre-turn this a little bit just to make it round and flat on one face. I'll fix the camera view here in a second. And now we're back up here. We got to focus again. There we go. Oops, not locked down. Not the only way to make a box, but I thought, well, let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can do. So I'm going to go in this way a little bit. All right. Probably too high. Safety glasses, yes. Wow, half an hour gone already, folks. Sorry, I'm not even throwing a chip yet. All right. I've got a selection of gouges. What do I want to use? What do I got in my so I've been using this one already. It's 5/8. There's this half. It's half inch. I have to look at my handle adapter to kind of tell me what it is. Half inch robust gouge. Look at how much flute you get with a robust gouge, and it's flattened, so it's going to fit my. I use the woodcut tool holder and system. So and it's parabolic flute, and I really found that I like this wing kind of a little bit of a convex to it, and it's super easy to do that with a parabolic flute gouge. If I do that, and I use that same profile on my other gouges, the Carter and Son one, and it's the same half-inch gouge. It's a V flute gouge, just like the Thompsons, and it's harder to get this sort of convex curve. You have to kind of work at it, rotate your thing in the jig a bit more. This one is very simple because it's parabolic. Gives you that natural curve because the curve is continuous on the inside of the flute. Anyway, a little aside there. All right, we're going to put a little tenon. I need to mark that first, don't I? Yes, I do. All right. Got my caliper. Got my I'll just change this up and do it the right way. Makes it a bit more safe. All right, I could do my radius gauge doesn't work here because the one thing I don't have precise measurement on this is let's see, 77 millimeters on my caliper, and I don't have what's half of 77, 35, 36 and a half on here. So, and this is made for a 3/4 inch. This is 5/8 or half inch. So there's no way to center that. So that's why we're back to calipers. Radius gauge is great, but doesn't solve all the world's problems. Only a couple. So I'm going to mark this touching the left side and not the right. Or, yeah, that's right. And I did flatten that off before we started. I'm just going to flatten it again because it's bouncing a little bit. Just a few scraping passes just to kind of get a flat surface. So my scribe with this caliper works fine. Let me zoom that out a little bit. I'm touching the there's our mark there. I got my trackpad in the way. Oh, well, that always happens. I don't know why that dictionary comes up when I do that. Must be something the way I grab it. So bear with me. Move that up a little bit. And this Sorby Live Center is kind of got a little vibration in it. So you can kind of see it going around and around there. So, but it's holding fine. I'm okay with it. I'll drop this rest a little bit, move it in a little bit, and we'll take that little bit away with the gouge. And again, I got to pick a depth on this tenon. This is kind of just roughing it out. Maybe a little bit more. So that is about, I don't know, a 1/4 inch in terms of the width of that tenon. And not quite to the line yet on the, that one is pulling focus too close because the tailstock's in the way. Let me do this for a second. These are things I would have set up in time or instead of, and I gotta see, I can't see that. No, it's focusing on this thing. Come on, get off. Spot focus. And maybe I can try spot focus. There. All right. All right, so let's get a smaller gouge to get into that detail. I've got a little spindle gouge. It's a 1/2 inch gouge I had. I'm getting a 3/8 gouge just to kind of, again, this is a robust gouge. Robust gouges are 15% off this weekend till Monday night, actually, Monday midnight. So 15% off, whether you buy it from me or Steve Worcester or Robust directly. Most of us have the Robust, it's manufacturer sort of discount. So check that out. So we're going to clean up this this tenon. This one might work better for this shot. I have to have that square, so I'm kind of sighting down it to see that it's square and not dovetailed in any direction. And I'm going to relieve that corner a little bit. A little bit of glue space. And a little glue relief right in that corner too. So we've got a little glue channel right in. Let me swap that over, take that off. Right in that corner, we'll leave this corner because that's going to sit in that nice square corner of the box. And then this shoulder should be nice and flat because it's going to sit on top. That's one thing I did with the box, is make that. I can pull it out here. Don't drop a tool. Made overhead. Made this nice and flat and square and stuff, and then we should be good with that. I do want to double check and make sure that this is nice and flat and square, or it's slightly undercut, if you will. So let's just scrape that a little bit just to see. Looks good. I'm actually going to put a little micro channel in there again for more glue. So this little groove will hold some glue. So that's the hope and dream anyway. So there we go. I think that's done. I don't really need to treat this surface and this surface yet. This one can wait until we're making the box. This one we're going to have it on the tenon in there as well. So there'll be a portion of this that will get glued. And do I want to make a glue channel there now? No. We'll do it in the box if we need it. All right, so let's take this guy out and hope he doesn't fit our box. He does not. That's good. Let's put our box back on and we'll fit that. Oh, I did want to do, I want to do one more thing before I take that off. And that's something I thought about. It might have to do some more work here. I might have got ahead of my thoughts here. Put that out of the way. No, that's fine. It's on the other side. That's fine. I want to turn it around this way because I'm thinking that if I'm lazy and I like this as a lid, then I need some way to hold it on this side, right? So I'm not going to have, if I go to overhead here, I'm going to have probably, probably that much showing. That much showing on the outside of the box if I want to leave this as a contrasting stripe on the perimeter of the box. And that means this amount I've got left to make a little tenon down here. And perhaps that tenon, if I got lazy and I want to make this a handle or a lid, then it could be a little knob on top. So I'm keeping my option open. This is how I design at the lathe rather than on paper. And so that's what we're kind of doing here today. Designing on the lathe. So let's use that other gouge because this one is now a bit dull. And so this will be a project we'll finish up maybe next time. I saw a Colwyn Way did a live stream about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago maybe, and he made little Christmas trees, and he had this funky hook skew thing that he got from Wiedemann Tools, I believe, in Germany. if anybody hasn't seen that, it was kind of a neat thing. So I do a similar thing, but with a badan or a skew point, and curl up, pine fibers on a little Christmas tree shape to see to make a little Christmas tree. So it was kind of cool to see that one. So let me check the chat here. It's not moving. There we go. I think David had a question. Oh, Harry had one. Did I get that one already? Oh, Harry noticed. Yeah, it has a wobble. Yeah, it just is what it is. So we shall deal with it. You can see it there. I think these bearings, I need to pull them out and clean them perhaps, but we just deal with it. It's not a big deal. It's wood. It moves anyway. All right, so I put the Carter and Son gouge, bowl gouge in, and we'll do the same thing on this side, basically. This tenon I'm not measuring. I'm just kind of guesstimating for one of my chuck jaws. I'm just going to pull. I have the, what do you call them? These guys, the O'Donnell jaws. And I've got a 38 millimeter set. So that's about there. So that's about 40 millimeters. So we'll leave it around that size and get my little spindle gouge out and dovetail this over a little bit. Those dovetails jaws are not that deep, so making that a pretty shallow dovetail. Oh, yes, let me get that question down. So is the wobble in your Sorby Live Center normal, or does that indicate it worn or damaged? It's still moving freely. So, David, I think it's just maybe some dirt impacted on one side than the other. So, in fact, when we get this done, I'll pull that off. We'll take a look. If I have that glued into the lid, and then I'm either going to glue it in, or there's going to be a lid, a top for the box. My guess at this point is I'll be gluing it in, and then cutting through to relieve it. So, and if I do that, I'm going to be cutting in. Let me get my other view on. So why doesn't that look quite focused? It's me, or is it? It's not me. It's not quite focused fully. That's better. All right. It's not your eyes, folks. It's my camera focusing. So let's see. If I want to make this a contrasting ring and frame of the opening of the box, both on the sides and the interior, or the top tenon, top recess, then I'm going to part through this whole thing to free up that inner part. And I'm going to part through wider than the tenon, which is, sorry, I have to get my head right overhead and kind of see. It's about here, right at this mark. So I would part through here to here, this area, and free this centerpiece from the glued in part. That means I can still grab this tenon and use that chunk of wood for a knob, maybe for the eventual lid. So I could have a maple box with a contrasting cherry ring that's also the recess, maybe a maple lid with a cherry knob out of the same piece of cherry. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, Is it damaged? I don't know. We'll see, but I don't really care right now. Kurt has a comment. I have found the Sorby stem mast to be pretty tough. Could be debris in the Morse taper causing wobble. Could be this. I don't always clamp this guy down. You can't see it. This guy. I don't always clamp this down. I usually leave it loose. So let's start this up. And you can hear that noise. So the wobble in this guy is making this guy vibrate. And if that stops that noise. So this is vibrating in here because I do have it extended 3.5 inches. That might change if I was to still it, but that doesn't stop this wobble up here. It just stops the vibration noise. Interesting though. Thanks, Kurt, for the comment. But yeah, I think it might be debris actually in here because everything else runs true in my Morse taper, and I do tend to stick my finger in the Morse taper to clean it out before I stick stuff in there. I didn't when I put these back in, but I did this morning. Anyway, yeah, let's take that off now. And let's take out this Sorby device. If I just actually park it up here, go wide, I can pull this guy and expose those bearings, right? So I've got a bearing in there and a bearing there that might need some, that feels solid. Maybe this one, or maybe it got bent. I don't know. That's one thing I noticed about these Sorby step centers is that they're relatively easy to pull apart. Maybe to their detriment. It means that they're easy to get debris in there. So I will take a closer look at that at some point when I'm on a maintenance kick. That is just not right now. Let's pull this out. And I do have some surface rust on this guy, but these guys are clean. I usually stick my finger in, nothing in there. So all good points to take into account when you're doing turning and you got some unknowns going on. We're getting close to time, but I got more questions. Please answer them. Otherwise, eat your leftovers, have a beverage, and just sit back and watch. And we'll get some of this kind of cleaned up. I don't think I pulled out all my tools for doing this this task, did I? I do have one. I do have a couple. Yep. All right. Wasn't sure if I did or not. So how are we going to make that tenon size for that hole? First of all, we're going to caliper this guy and get that size. We got to get it across the diameter. And that is there. These are thumb squeeze calipers, by the way. You squeeze that and you can move it. So, but once it's there, it doesn't move. So, kind of easy to operate. Push your thumb in, pull it back, and squeeze, and just kind of making sure I got the widest diameter. All right. And so that is set up at 78.5 millimeters. I'm going to take about a millimeter off. That'll be a half on either side. And we will mark that. I don't know that I really have to mark it that much because it's pretty darn close as it stands. If I look at that, so I'm going to hand out of the way. Thumb out of the way. I am pretty darn close. There, we're about 1 millimeter on either side of that actually, so we should be good. I'll mark it anyway, and just going to mark it on one side, stop it, and take a look and see how close I am. I'm pretty bang on the money there. So, all right. So we kind of have a little bit of a score line. I didn't want to make it too deep of a groove there in case I was off a little bit. We've got a skew that we can use to kind of push down. It's going to leave an angled bottom. So that we can use. I've got this kind of very sort of blunt scraper. It's a straight across, but it's rounded on the side, so it's going to flow down the inside of the curve very nicely. This is a Cindy Drozda style tool. I don't know if she sells this one on her website, but I got this blank from her. This, I think she's used this kind of tool on a couple of her demos, so we can use that one. I'll probably start with this one. I don't have the side pulling, the recess scraper out. Don't see it, but we'll see what we can do without that guy. Oh, I do also have this guy that I what don't I need right here right now? Don't need this guy. I'm trying to find a handle. Bear with me a second. And a hex wrench. So I showed this tool the couple live streams ago. It's just a bar with this sort of square skewed M2 high-speed seal cutter set with a set screw. We're not going to use that one. This is like a Simon Hope tool, and I meant to call him or email him. I still haven't done that. But we'll put that away. Just kind of tucks. Sorry, I just tucked it in the end, turned it around so it's not sharp on that end. On this end, we have another hole, and you'll see the hole is kind of off center on the bottom. It gives me enough meat for the set screw. This is a prototype that I have not developed into a product yet. But this guy will hold down like that. So now I have a rounded skew tool or a push tool I can push in and use as well. So I might try that. I'm going to put this in a handle. I need a 3/4 inch adapter. Do I have one of those out? Dun, dun, dun. Bum, 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 bum. I have one here. So I'll just set this on here, kind of choke it up a little bit. 3/4 inch adapter on my 3/4 inch bar, and then into a handle. And now we've got a tool to use. All right, let's give this one a shot. See how it is. I'm going to mark that line so you guys can see it. I can see it. And I think we'll just get this sort of set. There's our target. We'll sneak up on it. Right? That's not near enough of a ledge, though. I think I made my tenon too small. Might be enough. My glue line that I put in there is not enough. Just gonna bevel that edge. We're close, but not yet, so I can go a little bit wider. This is the problem with not using a sort of a side cutter. I've got a little bit of a side cutter on this edge. I've got more of a side cutter on this edge. So I'll use this one and use this side edge to kind of cut a little bit on the side. You can kind of see it coming off there. If I go to overhead, come back this way a little bit, and zoom in. Watch this this edge of the tool, and maybe this one with it zoomed in. Right there. Sorry, I meant to do that as a picture-in-picture. So right off this side edge here. You can see I'm getting all the action right off the side there. It's hard to see. This guy will show it. Too close to focus. Yeah, I can't show that. It's not focusing. All right. Well, I'll just carry on. You're going to have to believe me. So that long strand is coming from the end of in the flat on the bottom of the recess, and the dust is coming off the sides. This is where I need to figure out the depth of cut I'm going to make, right, in this recess. I can always trim the top off to get the right fit, so I can go a little bit deeper. And if I use my calipers, I can find that depth right there. I need to go a little bit deeper than that. This is where I'm at currently, so you can see that little gap. And we're a little bit over almost time, but we'll get this at least fitted. Eyeballing down on the bedways to make sure this is nice and parallel. I'll just bevel that corner. Not quite. It's close, very close. I'm shaving the side and a little bit on the bottom. And we got it to fit, but it's the sawdust out of there. It's a little tight. I don't want to stick that in. I don't want a super tight fit for gluing, or even for a lid, for that matter. But we're getting close. Nice. All right. So do I go all the way to the bottom? I have a little bit of a gap, just the slightest gap between the lid and the box. So I need to make that just, gosh, maybe half a millimeter, a quarter of a millimeter, just a little bit deeper. Let's do that. Yeah, but nothing off the sides. I think we got a good fit for the sides. And that light again. I have a little bit of I'll double check this flatness across here. And it looks like I'm higher on the outside than the inside, so it should be sitting fine. I think I may have to go just a little bit more. Not quite all the way there yet. It's got sort of a nice fit, poppy fit. Now a little bit more in a depth, so. That's nice. That's a good glue fit. Not a good jam chuck fit, but a good glue fit. And where's my light? And I really have to take my glasses off and take a closer look. I think we're not closing down completely. But I think we're deep enough. Let me just measure. Nope, not quite deep enough. A little bit more. Safety glasses back on. And again, just a sort of a very stubby skew. It's a scraper though, negative rake scraper. I'll put that light in the way a little bit so I can see. Is that enough? Might be enough. That's got it closed up. I might go just a little bit deeper just to have a little bit of a gap there for the glue to accommodate the glue thickness, if you will. It's a tricky fit because I want it exposed on the outside too, so I need a nice tight fit. That's nice and tight. It's nice and tight on the lip, on this surface, and it's nice and tight on the circumference of the perimeter of the tenon. So that will be good to glue in, and then we can part off and take the center out, and we can shape the inside and the outside. And I need to know what kind of thickness I have on my wall thickness here, just so I can be aware of what I'm doing when I get to that moment. So wall thickness total is 10. Nice and handy. Nice round 10 number. But my thickness of the tenon, if you will, or the recess, is 7. So I've got a 3 millimeter. Well, that's not true. 1.5 on either side, I suppose. Depth on that guy, and that's going to be hard to measure, but it's basically that measurement there, which says is 3. So 3 millimeter. So I guess that'd be, yeah, because I'm doing the difference between this and this. So 3 millimeter recess. So that means I'm probably, I'm just wondering if my, let me go 3. Just kind of unfortunate, kind of is what it is. That 3 millimeter lip in there is right where I put my groove for my glue. So that means that groove is going to hang over that edge a little bit. And we'll see how that goes. I should have put that in a little bit closer to the side, to the inside of the tenon. But there you go. We're not going to get that glued in today. I did want to show you, I pulled my glue out. I'm just using Type Bond 2 wood glue. But I found this old bottle of Type Bond glue. This obviously has gone bad. Has anybody seen that before? How long their glue goes bad, or what it looks like when it goes bad? I don't know these dates, these codes. 19. So that's probably 2019. And this is 2024. Be my guess. I don't know if that's true. Looks like a number I can rely on. This obviously has gone bad, so I'm tossing that in the garbage. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to glue that in. I think I want a collar. That was my original idea. This could be a lid. I'd make it fit a bit more. I could put another, maybe a maple bauble on the end of here and make it a lid. But let me see. Let's just take a look. This is always something I learned from taking a class with Don Derry, is to take it off, leave it in the chuck if need be. But hold it upright and see if the proportions look good. So we've got, I can go a little deeper on the depth of this box. I could make that a lid, and maybe that would be all right. Maybe that would be all right if I finished up this lid, and it certainly is tight in one spot more than the other. Oh, that's an annoying sound. Sorry about that, folks. But do I want to do that, or I don't want a band of cherry and then a maple lid on top? Because I have a bunch of this is not the same stuff. I've got bunches of this figured maple and little block form that I need to use up. I can't seem to find them right now. But maybe that's a bit of ambrosia maple. It's not the same stuff. Anyway, I got little blocks of maple that I can use as either knob finials on the cherry lid, or as larger, I got larger pieces I can make for a lid to sit in this recess that I'm going to open up in here. So anyway, I'm going to think about it. You think about it for the next couple of weeks. Let me know what your thoughts are on what I might do there, and we'll see that. So let me just go through. Type Bond 2 storage life 24 months in tightly closed container. Good call, David. Thank you, Dave. So my current bottle might be getting close to time. Ian, thanks for being here. Dinner calls. Go have dinner. Sounds good. I've got Wood Boy. I missed something, Todd. Why are you gluing the top on? Oh, because yeah, so I am thinking of making this not the top, but a collar. So I'll have a maple box with a cherry collar, and then another top that's going to sit in the recess that I'm going to open up in this one. So that was my idea, to just have an accent collar. So hopefully that clears that up. Harry, does the Chuck have 2 adapters to mount? Does the Chuck have 2 adapters to mount? It so I think, Harry, let me know if I'm getting you here, understanding your question. This Chuck is the Axminster. This it's the Clubman. So this version of the 100 is the old Clubman. I bought this probably 5 years ago. It does not have an interchangeable backplate to go to different size lathes. The new one, if I can get it off the wall, this is the Axminster. Let me get this off. I can see here it says Discovery right there, and this one says, it's very small, but it says Clubman right there. So Clubman is the old one. Discovery is the new one. This has a backplate that you can remove. This is 1x8. You can change this out to 3/4 by 16 or 1x8 or 1 1/4 by 8. So this is 1 1/4 by 8 or M33 3.5. That's what you're talking about. I think I answered that. So you can change them. The other question you may be asking, does this have, the O'Donnell jaws have different size of inserts? And it does. So I take this box off. This is the 50 millimeter insert, and you can get the 3-in-1 kit that has the 38 millimeter. Let me just go to that one fully. So you'll see that will sit in there with the screw in the top here and change this dovetail from 50 millimeter down to 38. Or you've got, just leave that one down there, kind of see. You've got the ones that are 25 millimeters. So you can get different size, 10 and this size, this size, this size, 50, 38, 25. So that's what I like about the O'Donnell 3-in-1 set. It's very handy to do that. So Harry, hopefully that's got that question. Here, it looks like there are 2 bases on the bottom where you thread it on. This one, no, it's not. It is to take it apart, but they're not interchangeable on the Clubman. If you got an old Clubman, then you can't change the thread size on them. I've asked a couple of times. The Discovery brand of or model of Chucks has a interchangeable backplate. There's 4 screws under these screws that you can do that with. I did a whole live stream on that. I have to show that and edit that one a bit better. All right, good. I think I got Harry's question. So as we are here, where's my? There it is. Thanks for watching. Background. So let's take a look at this box, or what this. That was really annoying sound. Oh, that's a tight fit. This may move. Hopefully, it's not going to move too much. And we'll complete this box. I'll probably glue this in, and then we'll cut this out next time. We'll smooth this out, shape the box, prepare to make a lid. Or since my next time is going to be what, December 13th? Let's see, 5 plus 7 is 13. So on the 12th of December, I could do Christmas trees the way I did them and stuff like that. So, or maybe try and turn a snowman. Cindy did that last week. So anyway, we'll see. I have to figure that out. If you got ideas, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to take that on and take your insight. Otherwise, everybody have a fantastic holiday weekend. Stay full and happy, and take care of one another. And we'll see you guys next time. One last question Harry has. How will you cut out the hole for the trim piece? We'll see that next time, I think, if you want to see that, Harry. But it's just basically a wide parting tool. So not a parting tool, and make it slightly wider. And I've only got to go through, 3/4 of an inch or whatever. So that's what we're going to do. So anyway, yeah, we'll see you all next time. Take care. Let me get rid of there we go. Bye all. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. Oh, hang on. Not yet. David just dropped a bomb in here. Type on date code format is A, year, month, day. Oh, let's take a look then. Pull it out of the garbage. I've got A 190912. So the 9th day of December 2019. Is that the day it signifies glue was made? Okay. A, is that a year? Year of manufacturer. Okay. Batch control number 082. Okay. So this is definitely 6 years old now? So no wonder this bottle has gone bad. This one is 24/06/27, so June 27th of 24. So that's still half a year away or more. Well done, Dave. Good Googling or whatever it is. Maybe you knew that. I don't know. Good stuff. It's always good to know. All right, now we're going. All right, so everybody have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.